What is the durability of this need for AI connectivity? Because everyone's talking about it, everyone needs it, but what's your viewpoint of how long is it going to last?
For our relative businesses, the surge in demand for transport capacity is due to the fact that the data and then the power necessary to use that data typically are not co-resident. And because of that, bits need to be moved back and forth. That problem is not going away anytime soon. So I think this is a real problem that optical transport solves, and we've got a long way to go before we can declare mission accomplished.
Yeah, it seems like the vast new amount of capacity that's needed to transit between data centers, the scaling across, as it were, has really been a surprise to the industry, whether it's the data center folks, AI folks, networking folks like us. So what do you think happened there that caused this unexpected explosion?
We've had this tremendous shock to the system of a new application that had moved literally zettabytes of data back and forth for training. So you want those GPUs humming 24/7 at full capacity with no buffering. You can't do that on a network that is packet-based and routed. You have to have dedicated transport, and that's where the surge has been.
What's going to happen, once inferencing, really explodes into our daily lives, in businesses?
Large language models will get bigger and more complex. And ask every large language model the same question, and you better get the same answer. Today, you get 6 or 7 different answers. We are not yet at a stable state for training. Training is like mining. It's digging ore out of the ground, but you don't have a finished product. You need to refine it to make it useful. That's what inference is. Inference will occur at the edge. Inference will occur over the public internet. Inference will dramatically increase total bit volume, and inference will change the directionality of traffic, which are meaningful changes for the public internet. So the internet started 35 years ago as a symmetric network. Over 35 years, it shifted. It became a distribution network, and it's very asymmetric. And that model evolved slowly over time. Inference is going to require the data that's stored in phones and servers at the edge to be uploaded. It's probably true that most existing networks will not be able to support that shift in traffic directionality. So there's going to be a huge wave for optical transport equipment at the edge. Fiber is a better medium than any other physical way to move bits. So most of the fiber to the home builds have been speculative and not generated great returns. Great outcome for the consumer, bad outcome for investor.
Right.
That will shift with inference because those unidirectional access networks will no longer matter.
Wow.
And
Okay.
eventually, AI will be interwoven to every part of our society, just like the internet is.
So what is your advice, for your service provider brothers and sisters out there, the data center folks building data centers, and everybody in between in the ecosystem? So what should they be doing, to make sure that they're optimizing their business in this new world?
The internet changed the world. It's interwoven in everything we do, but it had destroyed the telecom industry. It literally destroyed it by crushing those legacy networks, taking away the application-specific business models, and companies have struggled to adapt and have had to become more competitive.
Starting back in '96 with unbundling the local loops and all that, I guess, right?
And it's just gone downhill from there. If we look at AI, it's actually different in a couple of respects. it's being funded by really well-capitalized, profitable companies. Two, those companies are being subsidized by the government. So the government decided in the early 1960s to put 2% of America's GDP into the space race. All
Yeah.
of that innovation permeated society and made us far richer. That was a great 2% of our GDP. That's about what we're spending right now on AI.
Yeah.
So again, the winners are going to be the consumers. I also believe AI will probably destroy the current software business, and it will most likely make all of us richer.